Greetings. This is Mad Shad coming to you from an undisclosed location. So, what to talk about today? The warrior's mindset to prepping, or tactical prepping, or I don't know. I don't really know which way to go on this. Why do I prep? Why do you prep? How do you prep? What are you prepping for? Who, where, when, why, how, and how often? Majority of us prep because we want to prepare for the future. We want to, make certain things, advantage-wise. Sorry, I'm getting some brain fog here. Let's go with tactical prepping. Okay. Throughout history, warriors have always prepared for war. And they did this through training and through training with the gear. We all know about the samurais of old. Hold on a second. Which actually, we're not that far away. To tell you the truth, not too long ago, if you think about it. And most of the time, all they had was a sword, maybe some armor, maybe two swords. That's it. And they just kind of, did their thing. Majority of their preparation was training. Long, arduous training and study. That's the thing, is there's study involved. There's actually learning and transforming yourself into a weapon. It's kind of how I approach most things in life. Is is how can I better advantage my situation? How can I better advantage myself and keep myself razor sharp and keen, so that, when the time comes, I will not hesitate and persevere and make my mark. A lot of prepping, and when you say prepping, I'm a prepper. Oh, so you're a food hoarder. Oh, okay, great. All right, that's good. You hoard guns, you hoard knives, you hoard water, and you can, and do you know bushcraft? And yeah, sure. Those are all important skills to learn. And what are we doing this for? Are we doing this to keep ourselves comfortable and secure? Yeah, for the most part, sure. Those things, our creature comforts, are very important to us. Very important to us. Some people value freedom over those creature comforts. Some people value tools over creature comforts. Some people want their tools to add to their creature comforts. Ayah! I'm moving the table because I've noticed that the lighting is I don't know, weird. So, yeah. Are you comfortable? My advice to you is get uncomfortable. Really get uncomfortable. Do the uncomfortable things. Put yourself in uncomfortable positions so that you can learn and so that you can temper yourself in the fires of, you know, of war, of adversity, of strife, so that you can move on from that. And that's, prepping for food and water. That's all well and good, and that's wise. But is this so that I can have some type of retirement fund? When I get old and decrepit, I can just sit in my house and not have to worry about buying food or water or toilet paper or pew pews. I am secure in my station. I am free to do nothing. Are you doing nothing? I like the idea of prepping. It's fairly new to me. In the sense of, all that homesteading and securing food for long-term sustainment, and having enough medications, having enough food and water for years, being secure in having those guns and having those ammo, all that ammo and the tactical stuff. But in the end, it's just me. It's just me and my stuff. Which somebody can come and take if they want it. If they really truly want my stuff, they can come and take it. The greatest warrior is as vulnerable as a baby when he sleeps. That's been proven time and time again. So I look at things a little differently. Am I going to survive? I don't know. I'd like to think I can, and I like to think that my survivability depends on my skill set and my will, other than my how much food I have, or how much pew freedom seeds I have. It's all about will. It's all about intelligence. It's all about, doing the harsh things to myself, putting myself in that uncomfortable mindset, that uncomfortable physical, where my body is like, what the hell are you doing? Don't do this. This is stupid. But I know that I can do this. And once I get past that, I am a better person for it. Anybody that's ever, ran a marathon, or did a triathlon, or climbed a mountain, or done all these things can tell you, they wasn't thinking about how much food and water they had. They wasn't thinking about how much stuff they had, how much material things they actually acquired. They were thinking, I just pushed myself to the limit and beyond that. And now I know who I am and what my limitations are and what my abilities are. So don't kid yourself. Don't fucking kid yourself. Don't think just because you got the best gear, just because you got all the preps, all your ducks in a row, that you're going to make it. Maybe you didn't prep for one thing. You didn't factor in that one wild card that comes at you sideways. I understand the impermanence of myself and of all things. I am not myself. I am a non-self. Yet we have to, exist in this world, in this universe, as a self, and that's we can't get out of our heads, and that's good. That's good. We can stay in our heads. We can get very cerebral, and not understand the nature of things and the truth of the matter. Is that I am just a we are all just a hoarding, a mass accumulation of organic and non-organic material that is sentient and impermanent. When I die, I will be recycled and decompose, and all my stuff will be lost and given away or destroyed. Everything I have will be taken away. The Vikings of lore, the stories of their exploits and how they were buried. Look at our dead. Look how we treat our dead. We put things in the coffin like they're going to take it with them. The pyramids. You had massive amounts of hoarding going on to bury somebody because you thought, well, they're going to take it with them. You're not. It's not going to happen. I understand and I agree that you should have a sense of self-preservation, and you should be hardy and have the wherewithal to protect yourself and possibly take somebody else's life. I don't take that lightly. You shouldn't think, well, fuck it, I'm just gonna kill him. I mean, try not to. I try not to think of that because, well, some people just want to do that. Some people want to kill. Some people want to do harm to others. And those people have not learned the lessons that they should. And why you shouldn't go forth and kill. Now you should try to preserve life as much as you can. Even when faced with death and bodily harm. You should always think in a slightly compassionate way. I think that comes after you've seen and experienced or learned about a lot of killing and death and destruction and mayhem and chaos and disorder. Which this world and this universe is based upon. There's some type of order to this chaos, and for me to deny that is stupid. And I have to be able to see that in all things. Sorry, I'm getting crazy and esoterical on you there. But hey, rantings of a madman. The perfect advisor. Not really. Fool. Absolute fool. But it's foolish to think that I'm going to survive. You're not going to get out of this life alive. And you're not taking any of your shit with you. The best you can do is give it away. And, maybe this is the sheepdog mentality, is that the greatest gift I can give is self-sacrifice, is myself for something, for a cause. Jumping in front of a car to save that little kid or dog or fucking turtle. I've, done all that. I don't know, I'm stupid. Maybe it's the brain that I was. Maybe it's the TBIs. I don't know. I'll save you. Stand by. And you just jump into it. But having that tactical mindset, and having that going into it, having all the gear, having all that stuff. Yeah, it's great. But do you know how to use it? And do you know how to use it to help and save, to preserve life? Because that's why you should be fighting. That's why you should be going and if I grab this sword, which is a beautiful sword, by the way, a real forged, folded steel, with all the traditional makings. Absolutely, yeah, I'll show it to you. Well, yeah, this thing is great. You probably can't see anything in this lighting, but yeah, it's got everything that you ever want in a sword, and it's built in the traditional Japanese fashion. It's got the Hammond. It's got, it's a bitch to clean. It's a bitch to keep the rust off of it, but and it's got the ray skin wrap and all that, and the iron fittings, brass. This thing is folded. How many times was it folded? Not. It's what do you call it? It's brittle edge, soft edge. So it's got some good flex and weight to it. I've taken it apart before and looked at looked at inside. It's got all the necessary writings and all that stuff. But to wield that sword, I have to know that thing can kill. I know it does. I've never killed anybody with it or anything, mind you. But that thing has taught me so much about myself, about life, about death. And I don't ever want to use it. That's why I train. That's why we do the things we do. Do the things, not so you have to. So you don't have to. Yeah, sure. There'll come a time when you have to use it. Samurais did that all the time. They fought. They fought for a cause, and they had to defend themselves, and they had to dispatch the enemy. This lighting is terrible, especially on this thing. But they had to go there. Can you go there? Yeah, a lot of people would be like, yeah, sure, I can do it. Absolutely. I'll pull the trigger. But what are the consequences? What will it do to you? Where will it take you? How will it change you? Ask any vet that's been, out there, in the shit. And especially ones that have seen a lot of it. As preppers, we don't think about that. We think, yeah, I'm just going to shoot anybody that comes on my property and tries to kill me and tries to take my stuff. Oh, yeah, that's great. But can you do it every day? For 5-6 years? Yeah. Can you be the reason that people die? For years on end? So you can be secure? What I think I'm getting at here is we're facing a lot in this day and age, and the possibilities are endless of how things can go. We're facing threats from inside and outside our world. There's all kinds of crazy stuff going on. The grand solar minimum, freaking flares coming out of the sun that can wipe out planets, and facing mass extinction levels of things. We've got super biological viruses and bacteria that are just exploding. We've got extinction levels in species that have never been seen, have been seen in the past 500 years. You have to mind you, we've had about 5 extinction level events in our 4.9 billion years as a planet. Before us, the dinosaurs. You don't see any dinosaurs, do you? Or do you? Maybe they turned into birds. Maybe they turned into us. I don't know. Who knows? Well, whatever. Go consult your local paleontologist or biologist, whatever, archaeologist. They'll tell you things. Yeah, learn these things. Learn where you come from, who you are, and where you're going. Where are we going? And why do we train? Why do we prep? Why do we prepare? And what is it all for? Is it all so that we can just sit comfortably in our little wooden made caves and enjoy our preps, our food, our rice and beans and whatever, you know? Am I storing pews and freedom seeds so that I can use them on the zombie apocalypse? And you have to at some point you've got to realize that I can't wait anymore. I can't just sit here and wait. I have to go do something. And you have to participate. And I think that's what's going on right now. Is we're seeing a lot of truths going on here. Is that the more we sit and wait, and I'm not talking about violence and whatever that come what may. You know my stance on that. I don't want to hurt anybody. I want to help everybody. But if somebody's trying to hurt me, well, I'm going to help them along their way. They're going to learn the lessons, and that's part of life. Is you are doomed to repeat those lessons until you learn them. And you can learn them the hard way, or you can learn them the easy way. What's that quote that? I think it was John Wayne. Yeah, it was John Wayne quote. Life is very hard if you're stupid. But if you survive that, you become very hardy, and hopefully you learn those lessons. Because you're a knucklehead. I could say that's happened to me both. In both broader, both spectrums. But ask your question: why are we prepping? Why are we doing the things we're doing? Are we training? Are we training our hearts and minds and souls? Are we trying to help our fellow man? Or are we trying to be selfish and hoard everything for me and my family and then dispatch anyone that gets in my way? At some point in time, there is going to be, because we're a community. You got to think in a communal mindset. And I'm not talking, hippies with flowers in their hair and LSD and weed. Although that could be fun from time to time. Monaroo! Yeah. Oh, yeah. Right. That's fun. And that's good for the mind and the soul from time to time. Sometimes we get stuck. And we feel unfree. And we got to be free. You got to be free. And to be free, sometimes you got to fight for it. There's a lot of groups out there that are trying. But it's all for naught, if we just stay in our caves and enjoy our my 200 pounds of chocolate. Which is nothing wrong with it. That's fine. Enjoy life. That's what life is for, is to enjoy. And that's why we prep, and that's why we train, so that we can enjoy the fruits of our labor, and we are wise enough to do that. But there has to come a time when you have to be proactive and react to certain things. Yeah, I know, it's crazy. I go there. What the fuck am I talking about? Well, anyway, what we see in this world is that things are changing. Things are changing drastically. And if we don't change with them, we're going to be consumed by them. And there's strength in numbers. Being isolated, that's how you lose. Divide and conquer. That's the easiest way. A nation is not a nation if every man's an island, or every woman's an island. I can't stress that enough. come from a position of power, come from a position of preparedness, and help others along the way, and help our country, our nation, which, we're young in this world, 245 years, 246 if you ask the Marines. But, well, actually older than that, well, if you think about it, from the first time that we landed on this rock, and then you have to think about the Native Americans that were here before us, and what they did. We were definitely the apocalypse for them, weren't we? Yeah. So all things are impermanent. All things are fleeting. Everything changes, and this is nothing different. So if we do not change with the times, we will be consumed by it. And we that's the truth of the nature. We can fight it. We can definitely fight it. Do I believe that we should go kinetic, get tactical? Not yet. No. I think we should be smart, and we should approach this in a very surreptitious manner. But we got to make our point. We got to get our point across. And if I have to threaten and intimidate and stand up in defiance and noncompliance, yeah, I'm going to do that, because that's the kind of person I am anyway. That is the American spirit. We didn't start the war with the British. They escalated. We started just saying, no, we're not going to do this. No, we're not going to comply. And somebody dressed up like some Indians and jumped on a ship and dumped all the tea into the bay. We've allowed a lot to happen. We've allowed a lot of transgressions against our freedoms to go unchecked. And it's very sad. It is very sad indeed. But we are lying in the bed that we have made for ourselves. And now we're just waking up. Well, and a lot of people are not waking up. A lot of people are literally putting their head in the sand. I thoroughly support freedomgathering.org, started by Pinball Preparedness. Definitely check him out. Definitely, and then all the other preppers out there. I'm a prepper, but I'm not on the level of these guys. You know what I mean? No. I'm okay. I'm okay. And I do my own. Yeah. So I'm not. But as a country, as a nation, we've had 245 years to prepare for this moment and other moments like this. And I think we've failed miserably. Our ancestors are rolling over in their graves. And this is definitely a time for action. This is a call to action. And it all starts with non-compliance and defiance. For far too long, we've allowed our freedoms to be eroded and taken from us in the guise of security and convenience. Well, we know that convenience makes us weak. That's why I say get uncomfortable. Do the uncomfortable things. Push yourself. Learn new things. Destroy your body so that you can rebuild it and become more hardier and sturdy. Do the things. To what? Oh, yes. And to go there. To be... we've allowed so much to happen. And it's time for us to wake up. It's a time it's high time for us to come together as a nation and declare that we will not stand down. We will not allow all these oppressive, things to happen. So this is my plea for everyone to get with it. Get on board. Get your shit together. Question what you're doing and why you're doing it. And question what kind of future do you want? Because we are the assholes in charge of our own destiny. Not some new world order. Not some government. Okay? They work for us. Remember that. We the people. So, let's act like it. Let's act like it. I don't know, man. I don't know. I have hope. I've always had hope for the human race and for the nation. I just didn't think that I would see this day when Americans were okay with letting things take over. Giving up our freedoms for security. Well, who cares about security? Do I look like a security guard? No. Is the government my security guard? No. It's not my nanny. It's not my security guard. I am the asshole in charge of my own destiny. I don't need your security. I don't need your virus, your vaccination. I don't need your PPE. I'm going to act as I see fit, and I'm going to act in, for the betterment, for the betterment and well-being of my fellow man. I'm not going to try to offend anybody's sensibilities, but at this point in time, it seems like the whole world has gone freaking nuts in bizarro world. But I love freedom of expression and all that. That's great. But don't tell me how I'm supposed to act and how I'm supposed to look and speak. I'm going to say what the fuck I want, whenever I want. I do what I want. They can do what they can. And that's how we should look at it. We are Americans. For me to give up my freedom for security means I deserve neither. Think about where this country came from. Think about where it's going. Because right now it's going right down the crapper. And are things as bad as it seems? No, nothing is, it is what it is. No, nothing is ever what it seems. Ever. Ever. This beautiful samurai sword, hand-forged, tempered, handmade, in the tradition of the Japanese samurai, was made in China. It was made in China. Cost me $400, but hey, I think it was it Hanwei Forge? I don't remember, but yeah, it's been years since I've had this thing. But talk about cultural appropriation. There you go. Yeah, who are you? Are you a fucking, are you an African American Irishman? Are you a German Jamaican? It doesn't matter. We are Americans. And we need to act like it. The whole world is watching. If you haven't noticed, the whole world is going nuts. They're rioting. There's pushback. And regardless of what the reasoning is that people are fed the hell up with a government, whatever the fuck that means, our overlords telling us what to do. I will not comply. But if it's just me and I make a fool of myself out there, I'm going to die like a dog in the road. I'm going to just be roadkill. And they're going to spin it however they wish. But if we all get together and we act a fool and we aim to misbehave and we get our voices heard, okay, then they'll listen. And it's also what we don't do that matters. If I don't go to Walmart, if I support my local businesses, even in the lockdown, if I barter and trade, if I don't, it's kind of controversial, but even if I just don't pay my taxes, even sales tax, get uncomfortable. Do the uncomfortable things. Be prepared to do the uncomfortable things. And that requires training and rehearsal. There's going to be hard times ahead. Make no mistake about it. It's a process. It's a cycle. Hard men, create hard times. Hard times create hard men. Hard men create softer times. Softer times create softer men. And then the hard times come back again. Just like the grand solar minimum that happens every 300,000 years. We're in the middle we are at the beginning of an ice age. Of course, we're not going to see this ice age for, maybe 150,000 years, but it's coming and we're going to see it. So, things are going to change, and that's the way things are. Nothing stays the same. Everything changes. Everything is everything, and everything changes. So, it's time, America, for us to change. The time of convenience is over. It's been used against us. Convenience and security. Do you want to live in that world prescribed by the NWO or the WF or all those other alphabets? Do you want to live in that world? I personally don't, but we do. It's getting there. And when the time comes, I'll put on my blue clothes, and go forth. That's an obscure Viking reference. Trying to be coded here, but I don't know. Whatever. My blow clothes. Blow, whatever. I can't speak right now. I can't even think of it. But you get my point. Put on my tactical gear, my LARPer. I'll become a LARPer. I'm going to LARP out there with all the other LARPers. Throw freedom seeds everywhere. That's not needed right now, but it might come a time, and we have to entertain that notion. We have to think about that. But right now, we don't have to go there. Right now, I can keep this back in the sheath. I can store this away for now. It's not needed. So, I'm going to end it there. Just throwing that out there. It's just something that's been kind of, weighing heavy on my mind, seeing all this, this stuff going on, this unrest, I don't know if you can see that from here. Probably not, huh? Anyway, I love this thing. You can't see it. Nice Hammond. If you can, you probably can't. You know what? And tell you the truth, I really, it's just a samurai sword.